Buying a Tesla used to be a big deal. You were getting a vehicle sight unseen that virtually nobody had, and you were probably the only Tesla driver in your neighborhood. Fast forward to today, however, there are a lot more Tesla drivers on the road, of course, especially for Model 3s and Tesla's best-selling model, the Model Y. Now, the recently redesigned Model Y Juniper has been available for quite a few months now, while thousands of first-generation 2020 to 2024 Model Ys are hitting the second-hand market at deep discount. So if you're looking to get into a Model Y in 2025, which generation should you end up buying? The new model with many new features, or maybe save some money and buy a used one? That's what we'll be answering in today's video, where I'll be covering features, costs, different incentives to look into, and even long-term issues to consider so that you can make a more informed buying decision. Let's jump in. The first notable difference is going to be the exterior features, where you'll find redesigned aero wheels for the base trim, a reshaped rear light bar that integrates the turn signals, and a front end that also features a full-width LED light bar as compared to the previous model that essentially looked pretty dang identical to the Model 3 at the time. Now we can clearly differentiate the Model 3 from the Model Y as very distinct vehicles. From the side though, the Model Y still maintains the same general silhouette in what I think is a decent looking mid-sized SUV. Though I could absolutely see people either loving or hating the new look of the Model Y. I find it more polarizing for sure than the aesthetic upgrades to the Model 3, which I think does look fantastic. Make sure to let me know though down in the comments if you prefer the look of the new or old Model Y. Now, although there have been a few exterior changes, non-related to the look of the vehicle, they are somewhat minimal compared to the upgrades to the car's interior that we'll get into next. The most notable exterior upgrade really is the addition of one extra camera, which means compared to the 7 cameras in the old Model Y, you'll be getting a total of 8 in the new one, where this new camera is located right on the front bumper and does tie in for overall better full self-driving vision, which probably means going forward, you can expect FSD updates to mesh better with newer Model Ys as opposed to the old ones. Realistically, this is a fairly minimal change, but it's a hardware upgrade that's definitely nice to have moving forward, as FSD and other features like I hope a bird's eye view camera continues to be rolled out that will utilize this front camera as well. Hey, so one of the most underrated upgrades that you can make to your Tesla, and that I recommend you purchase and have ready before even taking delivery of your new vehicle, is swapping out those flimsy carpeted stock floor mats for something that's actually built to last and that will protect your interior properly. These right here are the 3W floor liners, and they're custom crafted to perfectly fit your Tesla. We're talking 3D laser scanning levels of precision here, so the mats contour exactly to every edge, corner, and curve of your Tesla's interior. And the result here is a seamless OEM style integration that genuinely looks like it came from the factory. Seriously guys, I've tried out a couple different floor mats for my Teslas, and these ones by far, as soon as I took them out of the package, could tell they were the highest quality, and once I put them in the car, they fit way better than any other that I had purchased in the past. They really go up and fit underneath the seat as well, which I like. It's going to avoid getting that extra hair, dirt, and debris stuck in the carpet that gets really hard to take out. But what's really sold me on these mats over some of the competition that I have again tested out as well is the durability, right? These things use a technology called Thorax, which means they're both flexible and crazy strong at the same time. They don't warp, they don't curl over time, and they'll keep the shape even after months or years of use. They still look fresh, no cracking or flattening out. And when they inevitably get dirty, rinse them off and you're done. Seriously, 3W mats clean off in seconds with a hose or for wipe down. You don't need soap, scrubbing, or any of that extra nonsense, just a hose and a damp towel and you're good to go. So if you want floor mats that actually match the Tesla quality inside your vehicle, I can't recommend these mats from 3W Liners enough. I will drop a link down below in the video's description and pin comment with a nice discount if you want to pick yourself up a set of these great liners. Next, when it comes to the interior of the vehicle, you're going to be seeing more ambient lighting. That was first introduced, yes, in the Model 3 Highland, as well as a standard 8-inch rear screen, ventilated front seats, and very nice, of course, 360-degree acoustic glass. All of these upgrades that very much do elevate the interior of this vehicle and are the same as with the new Model 3, which after around 20,000 miles driven in my own, I can confidently say all of these additions very much elevate the overall driving experience of the vehicle. That being said, upon reading through some various online forums, some drivers have actually mentioned that they find the glass isn't as soundproof as it maybe should be, but look, I absolutely find it is a huge improvement from the past generation, and the improved suspension as well has helped tremendously with reducing cabin noise. From the old Model 3 to the new Model 3 that I drive today, it is a massive overall improvement to the vehicle itself. And honestly, even though I've only driven the new Model Y a handful of times, I would say the same holds true for that vehicle. Other great features in the new Model Y include the ability to automatically fold down the rear seats from the back touchscreen, which works by moving the front seat forward. Interestingly enough, I really wish they had added this into the new Model Y, but I guess you just can't have it all. Next, other than all the major cosmetic upgrades that you'll be getting, your new Model Y is going to be shipped with Hardware 4, which, if you didn't know, carries some significant upgrades over Hardware 3, specifically with camera resolution and processing time. And as mentioned earlier, having Hardware 4 installed in your vehicle will mean that it'll be able to run all of the software upgrades for years to come without any compromises. Interestingly enough, the speed and acceleration haven't really changed at all in the new generation. In fact, as of filming this video, the currently available Model Y trims have 0 to 60 times of 5.4 seconds and 4.6 seconds respectively. And that's without any performance version currently available while I'm filming this video, although rumors are saying that the performance model will be coming out shortly. Along with this, the advertised long range for the long range all-wheel drive trim is 327 miles, while the long-range rear-wheel drive trim is around 30 more at 357 miles, instead of the old model's 311 miles of range. But of course, this is a fairly minor increase overall, which, considering battery tech advancements and just developments made over the past 4 or 5 years, and with what's available in China right now, I'd have really expected at least 500-mile ranges by now, but that's not the case. Okay, so let's get the prices of the new 2025 Model Y out of the way. The all-wheel drive Model Y long range starts at $48,990, which is actually a drop from where it was on release at $50,630. And it's important to note that this isn't going to include FSD, which costs an additional $8,000 that I do not think is worth it, truth be told, unless you get it for free on a promo. I think it's much more worth it to just pay $100 a month to have that subscription, and you just turn it on to utilize it when you need it. And so that base price I just mentioned for that trim is also without optional upgrades such as a trailer hitch, which will run around $1,000, plus various paint options running between $1,000 and $2,000. So in general, you can expect to pay around 60 grand for a fully fleshed out Model Y with all-wheel drive. And you've paid your delivery fees, sales taxes, and registration costs. Now, if you're looking to buy used though, there are going to be two main options. You can either go with the previous generation Model Ys that are sold by Tesla itself. At least there is still some inventory as of July 2025 when I'm filming this video. video, and you can buy off the used market as well as your second option. So if you're buying a used model, usually these are going to be models that they had as, say, courtesy vehicles, or ones that you can test out in the showroom to take on the road, usually with, anywhere from 5 to maybe 20,000 miles on them, depending on which one. Well, you can go ahead and get some great prices. Just take a look at this webpage right here, where we can see the inventory that I'm speaking about here, with anywhere from a couple thousand miles to 25,000 miles, but we're seeing price points that are extremely affordable compared to the new ones. Seriously, $35,000 for a long range Model Y with only 5,000 miles on it is a great deal, and is notably cheaper than a new 2025 Model Y. But if you want to go even cheaper, you can probably buy used Model Ys on the secondary market for insane prices, like this 2022 performance trim Model Y with under 20,000 miles for only $31,000. And realistically, that's before any type of negotiation. That is some crazy depreciation right there. And speaking of Juniper Model Ys, I am sure that within around the next 6 to 12 months, we'll start seeing a bunch of them hit the secondary markets at deep discounts as well. So that's something that you could wait out for. Teslas have been seeing massive depreciation curves in the first couple of years as of late. From here, let's talk about the current incentives that you can expect when you buy a new Tesla, and also when these are going to potentially end. So it's crucial to note, at least for those living in the United States, that you're going to have until September, the end of September, to cash in on these tax credits and incentives for purchasing a new or used Tesla. As with the new bill that was just signed, which kills EV tax credits, you can expect this to drop to 0 after that date, which is only in around a month and a half from now. For now though, when it comes to a new Tesla, you can expect to get a $7,500 clean vehicle credit, whether you're buying or leasing a new Tesla, the 2025 Model Y included. This is a really big incentive for a lot of buyers, because it means you're going to be saving roughly 1/6 of the price of your new Tesla just by buying it. Now, if you're buying used, you're not going to qualify for that full tax credit, but you will qualify for a reduced $4,000 value, which will also be available through to that same date, end of September. Furthermore, there are a lot of state level rebates that you might be eligible for. For example, California residents who are recycling an older combustion engine vehicle can actually get up to $12,000, believe it or not, towards a new or used EV, which can be a big incentive to buy new as well. By the way, you can check out all of these state level rebates and credits right on Tesla's website in the electric vehicle and energy incentives page. Next, beyond price points though, you also want to factor in the longevity and the actual operating costs of new versus older models. One of the most important factors, I think, is actually going to be the warranty, because old Tesla Model Ys are either going to have 8 years or 100,000 miles, or 8 years and 120,000 miles, depending on which models you purchase. That's in regards to the warranty. You're going to be seeing a lot of the older Teslas on the used market, like the 2020 models, age out of that coverage quickly. So if you're purchasing a Tesla that's over 100K miles, you're going to be seeing your warranty either already expired or expiring very soon. Compare this to the full term warranty you'll get if you purchase a new Tesla, and well, with a used one, you're going to want to be very cautious and actually research the vehicle in question that you're buying to make sure that you're not only in warranty potentially, but that the battery specifically is still in good condition. By the way, you can now check the battery's health relatively easily in the Tesla's settings menu after conducting a battery health test. So I would recommend trying to get the seller to provide you with this information. Now, that's not to say that there isn't an upside to buying used though. According to a recent report, Tesla's long-range Model Y is only going to lose around 15% capacity after 200,000 miles. So The plus side to this is that unless your battery pack is a dud or has had exposure to water or something else that's prematurely degraded it significantly, you're probably going to have a vehicle that lasts longer than you would think, and even potentially longer than an ICE car, even if buying used. So yeah, like I said, there's not going to be maintenance like oil, plugs, or even transmission issues, of course, with an EV, but obviously that's true for both new and older Teslas as well. Easily the biggest issue is going to be the full battery replacement if that ever ends up being necessary. It's extremely rare for that to happen though, but if you did happen to incur that cost, you're going to be looking at around $10,000 to $15,000 if you had to replace the full battery pack out of pocket. Okay, so with all of this in mind, which vehicle should you actually buy? And of course, that decision will depend on many variables and circumstances personal to you. I would recommend going with the new 2025 model if you do have, say, the cash to spend and can stomach a ton of depreciation right away, as you're going to be getting a much quieter cabin from both the suspension and the upgraded acoustic windows, as well as the latest FSD hardware installed, which means you won't be missing out on any features now and down the line. It's a big deal in my opinion because Tesla is constantly pushing new updates and software upgrades to their vehicles, so this is very important for any of you watching who enjoy staying at the cutting edge of tech. You'll also be getting those extra federal credits and low APRs to bring down the cost of the vehicle if you purchase before the end of September, which will slightly reduce the price gap as well, at least until the credits are cut entirely. Plus, of course, you have that full warranty, so if your battery does degrade too fast, you'll be able to offset that almost entirely. That being said, if all of the above doesn't really matter to you and it's not that important and you want to stay on a budget, there's nothing wrong with that at all, because buying a used model is going to save you a ton of money and still get you into a Model Y. You're going to be saving anywhere between $15,000 and $30,000 just depending on which used Tesla you buy, and some of them will only even have like 10, 15, 20,000 miles on them. They're practically new in the lifespan of an EV. So sure, you're going to be living with hardware 3 instead of hardware 4, but if that doesn't really matter to you, there's not going to be a huge reason to upgrade to the latest model. That said, if you do buy a used Tesla, always make sure you pull a full battery health report, which you can run from the service menu, and it takes around a day to complete, but if a seller is unwilling to do that, I would probably stay away anyways. This is how you can make sure the battery is actually in good shape before you sign anything, and yeah, I would highly recommend doing so. But whether you're going for a $25,000 used Model Y or if you're going for the brand new one, I do think the Model Y in general is a great vehicle. It's an efficient car, easy to maintain, and there's a reason why it is Tesla's best-selling vehicle. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I post at least one video here per week on the channel, sometimes even 2 if you're lucky. Also, make sure to check out my links down below in this video's description. Pick up a $5 delivery day checklist for your new Model Y over on my website. Great way to support the channel and make sure you're not missing out on anything on delivery day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.